Brought to you by the new Faro's Lounge Kickstarter. It's time for another writing class. Spiderman, the AracKnight, Chapter 3. We are 3 chapters into our 4-chapter graphic novel, perhaps even 5. Who the hell knows? Let's see how it all plays out. We're enjoying ourselves. I know I'm enjoying myself. I hope you are as well. All right. So we're 2 pages into our new story. We've got our first 2 chapters. We even got covers for them. We're working on a cover for this third one. As we opened up, we showed the infrastructure, sort of like an overview of Empire City, had a little fun with the map. We're showing Dr. O's henchmen are going through the sewers, 3 of them, looking for a trace of the super soldier serum. They lock on to a creature, our own little Killer Croc, kind of like the lizard mashup, who takes out 2 of the guards and is about to take out the third one when he hits him right in the chest with a stun gun, immobilizing him so that he may bring him back to Dr. O. All right. We then cut to the Oscorp Tower. Should we just make that a new page? I think so, right? Yeah, let's make that a new page. It's always a little annoying when it opens up. Harry's a bit annoying. All right, we then went to Oscorp Tower, where Peter is the photographer on hand with Ned Leeds, as they're traveling to talk to Norman Osborn about the recent Mars colony and, of course, the threat on the city. Fucking annoying fucking calls. All right, let's play around with the scene here. Fuck it, might as well read it out here. Start with page 2 because we're jumping into this scene. So our goal today, of course, is page 3 and 4. If you've done your homework, we have our issues of Amazing Spider-Man, at least 2 that we'll be mining for ideas and information. All right, we cut to an overview of Oscorp Tower, where Peter and Ned are going to interview with Mayor Norman Osborn. The tower is surrounded by several security drones and dirigibles, as well as being blanketed by the neon lights of the towers in their radius. We can have a shot of the Mars colony launching into space. We can have an Easter egg of the cosmic storm in the distance and the colony floating towards it. Let's see. On a giant holographic screen, there we go. The Mars colony was safely guiding on its course, and the chameleon was a dark spot beneath. So in order to climb higher in the conspiracy pyramid, this would be a job for Peter Parker. We see a shot of Peter and Ned on the rapidly rising hover elevator as they look upon the cityscape in distance in the glass view. Glad we finally get to work together, Peter. I've been admiring your pictures. Thank you, Ned. I hope whatever the mayor has planned is worth me tagging along. It should be. Norman Osborn doesn't do small. So what do you think of the boss? Do you think what the boss says is true? About what? Spider-Man. JJJ says he planned the whole thing as an elaborate prank to scare the city into hopefully coughing up some money. The elevator reaches Norman's rooftop office and overlook. We see Mayor Norman Osborn and Commissioner Stacy across from them, having a discussion, going over holographic pictures and files of what looks like members of the Sinister Six, sort of like Tony Stark's home office with the holograms. Peter and Ned continue to chat as they get closer to the mayor and commissioner. Commissioner Mishner. You really should have a commissioner character named Mishner. Commissioner Mishner. Do you think what the boss says is true? About what? Spider-Man, okay. Ned, aren't we all after fortune and glory? Peter shakes hands with Mayor Osborn as Ned and the commissioner look on. Norman looks like Michael Douglas as Gordon Gekko in Wall Street. Gentlemen, welcome to Oscorp. This is some setup, sir. Yes, I know. Your boss was quite insistent that I allow you gentlemen access. Plus, I have something I would like to show off. But I didn't want to wane on the attention of the Mars colony, or add more dramatics to the recent situation. Do you think it's over, sir? Do you anticipate any more threats? Asked the commissioner. All right, so we got... Close-up as Peter and Ned are shown the holographic pictures of mugshots of the suspected Sinister Six villains trying to destroy Empire City. Norman leers on in the distance. We suspect these men, long believed dead. who have started a cabal dedicated to either draining Empire City or drowning. Long believed dead, they were the architects of this city, who are believed to have been killed during the last phase of construction. Due to the amount of damage and lack of access, they were all presumed crushed and consumed. They were glorified laborers. They were glorified merchants, day laborers with a hint of promise. And I gave them the opportunity to be part of something great. Something that not only be the salvation of Empire City, but a step into the future. To benefit all of mankind. So we have kind of like an OCP thing going on here. You know, Detroit, Delta City, RoboCop. Futuristic but flawed. A Neo-Gotham, if you will. Wow. Before Peter can get a picture of the mugshots, it is wiped away by Norman, who moves another image into the center of the holographic console. We see it as a holographic model of the Baxter building. The Mars colony was just the first steps. I present to you the Oscorp station. Not the Oscorp station. Oscorp station. Is that the Baxter building? It was. All right. We're all caught up. And now, page 3. Let's take a look at our notes. So where we're leaving off here, Norman Osborn, the mayor of Empire City. Peter Parker taking pictures. Ned Lee's doing a report. Commissioner Stacy there during the interview. So let's make this actually go somewhere. Let's get some reveals here. Let's get some grandstanding. We don't want to necessarily just obviously say that Norman Osborn is a bad guy and already the Green Goblin. It's kind of cheesy. We should have it be his origin as well. Same way you get Jack Napier, Jack Nicholson, you get the origin of the Joker. Don't waste this. You know, weak writing is doing the origins off fucking camera. Unless you can bring it in, make it fun, which is what we're going to do here. We're trying to develop a backstory now for the Sinister Six. Not always just about I'm evil, ha ha ha, hoo hoo hoo. Let's give revenge factors. Let's give some tragedy to our villains so that we never know where to root. The beauty of Game of Thrones, what George R. R. Martin was able to do, was that you had people that you were rooting for on both sides. Whether you loved or hated the characters, everybody had something invested in, and that's what we want. The idea is we want to put ourselves into a position when eventually the Marvel Universe as it currently exists implodes, and that's what it's looking to do, as they haven't been positive at the Endgame, we'll be there to start over. You never know. You never know. All right, fucker. Brought to you by the Kickstarter. Looking to get there. We need another 41%. Let's mine this comic book. We got an interview fucking scene to write. Amazing Spider-Man 57. It's 1968, February. We taking you back. Spider-Man had amnesia from getting zapped by the fucking nullifier weapon from Dr. Octopus. He's wandering around the city aimless. He's going to come face to face with Kazaa. The Coming of Kazaa. Sounds like a porno movie. All right. So we know that Spider-Man got away from Dr. Octopus. He's running around with a little amnesia right now. Gwen Stacy's looking for him. Everybody's looking for him. So he's going to rob some food from a party so that he can eat. He's all fucked up. He doesn't know what's going on. He's climbing around the city. He doesn't have a mask on right now. He's cold. He's scared. He's lonely. He's got the old amnesia, but his spider instincts are still kicking in. And he's running around, sleeping in Grand Central Station like a stupid hobo. Aunt May is scared and worried. She can't fucking sleep. She's worried. She falls on the fucking ground. Nobody knows where he is. All the heavyweights are meeting. If I had my way, he'd be busted up private, Colonel Jameson. He had no right to let Spider-Man escape. Let's not fly off the handle till we've heard from the Colonel, gentlemen. So we need this now. This is Captain George Stacy here, who we have as the commissioner. Colonel Jameson is under my command. His orders were to retrieve the stolen nullifier, not to apprehend costumed criminals. However, the city council does deserve an explanation. Colonel, why did you make no attempt to capture the so-called Spider-Man? He'd saved my life 3 times in the past. All right, Colonel Jameson. Good old Colonel Jameson. One of the earliest exploits was saving a spacecraft the Colonel was piloting. I made a study of Spider-Man's record, General. Okay, so we have this. We can play around with this now. While he later rescued him from the Rhino, and finally from Dr. Octopus himself. In fact, his record makes it difficult to believe Spider-Man could really have turned bad. I can see your point, Captain Stacy. I never knew you were so familiar with Spider-Man's background, Captain. As an ex-police officer, I find his history fascinating. The more I learn, the more he mystifies me. John, I thought you'd never come out. Blast it. Is it true? Did you let that web weasel escape? All right. So I like what we're doing here. We're going to mine this. I did what I thought was right, Dad. By the way, do you know Captain Stacy? He acts as a special consultant to the city council on police matters. Never mind that. All I care about is my own son letting that mass murderer go scot-free. There's no proof that he's ever murdered anyone, Jameson. Who needs proof? Everyone knows he's a rotten, low-down, no-good killer. This time I know how to finish him off. There's someone arriving in the city. Someone make mincemeat of that costume creep. Your father's a very determined boy, my boy. All right, so Kazar's coming to town. He's got his he's got his cat. He's gonna fuck some shit up. What can we mine out of here? Let's move our notes. Noel describes how he bought the Baxter building or acquired it and is going to turn it into the world's first floating and orbiting skyscraper. All right. His master project, and Ned Peter, the commissioner, will turn the discussion back to his trouble with the Sinister Six. It could be a ransom note, a cryptic message, even one making a gesture that Norman is like the Goblin, a monster. Dr. O can even get his revenge in the end, which he injects Norman with his version of the tainted serum, which will turn Norman into the Green Goblin in the next story, The AracKnight Returns. All right, let's play around here. Let's play around. Dun-dun. We're writing comic books and counting boogie. Let's make some comic books. Jaju. All right. This is what we're working on right now. Let's do this. The rest of the trio look on as Norman flips the image of the Baxter building as he starts to mold and shape the image like an artist with a lump of clay. Previous owners, the previous owners of the Baxter, now hurtling towards with the previous owners of the Baxter now on a mission to Mars. I was able to acquire it from them. I was able to acquire it at quite the discount. Which is important as to what I have planned to do with it. You will be looking, by the time I'm done, you will be looking, not by the time I'm done, that's cheesy. Which is important as to what I have planned to do with it. Which is important as to what I have planned. Gentlemen, you are looking at what will become the first orbiting and sustainable skyscraper. The first orbiting, sustainable skyscraper. A building capable of traversing the globe. A building capable of traversing the globe. Bringing Metropolis to the masses. Without the traffic or the commitments. With the previous owners of the Baxter now on a mission to Mars, I was able to acquire it at quite the discount, which is important as to what I have planned. Gentlemen, you're looking at what will become the first orbiting sustainable skyscraper. Building capable of traversing the globe, bringing Metropolis to the masses without the traffic or the commitments. Completely free of Earth and Empire City. Now, I showed you that article last class from that website, the floating skyscraper. We see the image pan out to see it floating, not see it hanging via parachute lines from a large asteroid orbiting in the space above. Skyscraper hangs from the asteroid, upside down. As we see a smaller Empire City rendering underneath it with the Earth, with rendering underneath it, yes. The building will be able to orbit the entire planet within a day's rotation. Like that. Imagine it, gentlemen. Imagine it, gentlemen. Free of the commitments, completely free of Earth and Empire City. The plan is to tether it to an asteroid in orbit, construct the towers from both sides. Eventually, we can control speed of the orbit. Positioning the entire corporation wherever it need be. The plan is to tether it to an asteroid in orbit and construct the towers from both sides. Eventually, we control the speed of the orbit, positioning the entire corporation wherever it need be. I'm talking about the savior of civilization beyond our walls. With your name on it, of course. Peter shouldn't be that smug. You should admire him. Yet. No, we have to be a wise ass just yet. Wherever it need be. I'm talking about the savior of civilization beyond our walls. The beyond our walls should be a little smug, wherever it need be. I'm talking about the savior of civilization beyond our walls. Plus, closer access to rare minerals. Well, there's always a bonus. Then Peter can kind of be kind of a dick. Not necessarily a dick, but almost inadvertently a dick when he says, well, you'll need the best architects for that. Well, you'll need the best architects for that. Plus closer access to rare minerals without the red tape. Well, there's always a bonus. Well, you'll need the best architects for that. So Peter kind of inadvertently is a dick when he says that because they just said they're just talking about how he wiped out these architects. Norman spins and gives Peter an almost sinister glare, while Ned and the commissioner look on. Norman turns, spins, and gives Peter an almost sinister glare while Ned and the commissioner look on. What are you implying, sir? What are you implying, Mr. Parker? Does he even know his name yet? What are you implying, sir? Well, boy. What are you implying, boy? Nothing, sir. Nothing, sir. I'm merely saying that something along this magnitude would require the best minds and bodies. I'm merely saying that something along this magnitude would require the best minds and bodies. Are you sure? Are you sure that people wouldn't have? Are you sure those types? Are you sure those types wouldn't have? Are you sure those types wouldn't have reservations about working with you? Since you know, remind me again. Are you the reporter? Remind me again. Are you the reporter? Ned will jump in. No, sir. That would be me. But he does raise a point. No, I don't know if Ned would be that brave. Should we make Ned that brave? Should we make Ned not necessarily a tough guy, but chiming in, asking a question? This is a little go between now. We got a little back and forth going now because Peter's meeting Norman Osborn for the first time. They're going to be fucking adversaries. It's going to be his Joker. You should have some fun with it. Get a little fucking byplay. You know what? Never rush a fucking scene. Have fun with it. Cast it. Like I said, we had Gordon Gekko here playing Norman Osborn. Whoever the fuck you got Peter Parker. Usually when you're writing Peter Parker, you put yourself in there. You imagine yourself as Peter Parker. I know I do. A self-insert, if you will, Jessica Chow. Okay, so he's playing with the image. He's showing it off. Plus closer access to rare minerals without the red tape. Well, there's always a bonus. Well, you need the best architects for that. Norman spins. All right. Gives Peter an almost sinister glare while Ned and the commissioner look on. What are you implying, boy? Nothing, sir. I'm merely saying that something along this magnitude would require the best minds and bodies. Are you sure those types wouldn't have reservations about working with you? Since, remind me again, are you the reporter? No, sir, that would be me. But my colleague here raises a point. Someone was willing to use a lot of advanced tech. Someone was willing to use a lot of advanced tech to get your attention with regards to the Mars colony. Someone was willing to use a lot of advanced tech to get your attention with regards to the Mars colony. Commissioner Stacy should have a line in here. Someone was willing to use a lot of advanced tech to get your attention with regards to the Mars colony. No, sir, that would be me. But my colleague here raises a point. Someone was willing, because Ned's a reporter. At the end of the day, he's a reporter. He has no reason to be scared of Norman Osborn, at least not yet. Which brings us back. All right, so he's going to bring it back. All right, which brings us back to the list of suspects. Which brings us back to the list of suspects. So you can use the rest of this page if you wanted to. Which brings us back to the list of suspects. All projects aside, Mayor. All science projects aside, Mr. Mayor. All science projects aside, Mr. Mayor. If I can have the deck. Or if you would pass the shoe. Which brings us back to the list of suspects. All science projects aside, Mr. Mayor. If you would pass the shoe. Meaning he's taken over. And on panels 4, 5, and 6. We go panels 4. I want him to kind of. He's gonna flash it back, and we're gonna see the images of the Sinister Six popping back up again. I want it laid out here in this issue. You know, I don't like to drag shit along. We like to keep it fucking moving, All-Star Superman style. Let's do some mining here. Let's mine the rest of this issue. Okay, so first of all, is that where we are? Panel 4. All science projects aside, Mr. Mayor, if you would pass the shoe. Commissioner Stacy, with a flashing of his hands like a holographic card dealer, flips the images of mugshots onto the screen to show off the list of suspects going after Norman Osborn and Empire City. We see the images of Craven, Dr. O, the Vulture, Electro, Craven, Dr. O, the Vulture, Electro. Who's the other two? Mysterio, the Sandman. We're going with the old school lineup. Let's do it in a different order. Let's do it in the order that we want to show them off at. Because Craven, Norman will catch him looking at Craven. Okay, we see the images of Dr. O, the Vulture. Doing like the order they showed up. Dr. O, the Vulture, Mysterio. Craven will be last. The Sandman, Dr. O, the Vulture, Mysterio, the Sandman. 1, 2, 3, 4. Electro. And finally, Craven. Commissioner Stacy goes over each man's skill set. We don't see them as their eventual supervillain alter egos. We see them early on as their normal pre-villain personas and mugshots. All right, so really quick, what we want to do is I just want to get a readout of what each guy does. The Sinister Six. Not to be confused with the Secret Six. All right. I'm trying to remember what each guy's thing was. Okay. The Vulture. Sandman's kind of an easy one. Mysterio, I gotta remember what Mysterio's thing is. Mostly the drugs and the Craven's about samples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't need Dr. O. We already know about Dr. O. So this will take up the rest. We don't need his pens. Not that damage. Yo. Friday. That was like an early flight, like 10 o'clock or something like that. Yeah. All right, I'll let you know. Right now, we're kind of in the middle of working right here. All right, bye. Always know someone wants to talk to you about some bullshit. All right. Commissioner Stacy goes with each team's skill set. We don't see them as their eventual supervillain alter egos. We see them early mugshots. Okay, we already went over that. All right, so Commissioner Stacy. Let's move the notes away so they don't get in our way. Shush. Baby, shut up. Oh, god damn it. We're all screwed up here. Here we go. Here's the notes. Shut up. Goes over each man's skill set. Okay, this is what. Let's get all caught back up again here. My dog likes to bark at random fucking things. She's retarded. We have the ringleader, Dr. O, Master of Nanotechnology. We have the ringleader, Dr. O, Master of Nanotechnology. And a self-preservationalist. We have the ringleader, Dr. O, Master of Nanotechnology. Just about every every single drone, every single gadget, and every single drone, every single gadget and every single drone in the entirety of Empire City has his stamp. Entirety. No. Is entirety a word? Every single gadget and every single drone in Empire City bears his stamp. That has his stamp. Bears his stamp. We have the ringleader, Dr. O, Master of Nanotechnology. Every single gadget and every single drone in Empire City, every single gadget and every single drone in Empire City bears his stamp. He could be watching us right now. Next up would be the Vulture. Where's the Vulture? What was his thing again? No, it's Adrian Toomes in here. Here we go. The second most. There was an original Vulture, the Human Torch and Toro. That was that bullshit. The second most prominent maniacal genius who designed his suit turned her life of crime. We need the when he was in Amazing Spider-Man #2. Heavy set based on Sidney Greenstreet. Who gives a shit? Blackie Draco. God damn it! Where's the skills, powers, abilities, and equipment? That's what I need. Harnesses Toomes resistant to injury, which can survive blows from super strength. Unique radiation despite old age and no exercise. Is physical. Natural wing flight and synthetic harnesses. Electromagnetic harnesses. Is hover technology a thing? Electromagnetic hover technology. We have the ringleader, Dr. O, Master of Nanotechnology. Every single gadget and every single drone in Empire City bears his stamp. He could be watching us right now. Next up is Adrian Toomes. Hover technology. Electromagnetic genius. He's the reason Empire City floats. Get rid of the Vulture. Who was next on the list? Mysterio. Now, how do we describe Mysterio? Quentin Beck, special effects artist, illusionist, actor turns to crime. Chemist, robotanist. I like this. Mysterio does not possess superhuman abilities, an expert designer of special effects devices, stage illusions. Master hypnotist, a magician, and an amateur chemist. Chemist, roboticist. I like that, roboticist. Quentin Beck. Chemist, roboticist. Illusionist. And Norman will pop in. Well, Norman will come in at the end. Quentin Beck, chemist, roboticist, illusionist. Well, first, let's put Electro after the Vulture. Quentin Beck, chemist, roboticist, illusionist. But let's save him. He would be. Next up is Adrian Toombs, hover technology, electromagnetic genius. He's the reason Empire City floats. Quentin Beck, chemist, roboticist, illusionist. I'll have Norman pop in here. And a first class psychopath. And a first class psychopath. Commissioner Stacy. Continuing on. Vulture, let's see. Don't do Electro yet, unless you want to do Electro here. Adrian Toombs, he's the reason Empire City floats. Vulture. Maxwell Dillon. Electrical engineer. The lead electrical engineer. Flint Marco. The union delegate. He provided all the construction materials. All right, so we allude he's the mobster. Flint Marco, the union delegate. He provided all the construction materials. Quentin Beck, chemist, robotanist, illusionist, and a first-class psychopath. Finally, we have, and Peter will jump in, and Peter, in a moment of weakness, he shouldn't have done this, kind of like his Sonny Corleone moment. Craven. Finally, we have Craven. Peter will say it. But we want to put that all on that page. That could be panel 4. So you have that little bit of a drip drip. Then you can fit in a quick little panel 5 here. Just a quick little. Commissioner Stacy and Norman. Commissioner Stacy, Norman, and Ned all turn towards Peter. Unless you want to save that for the next page. You use the mugshots and the layout. Yeah, use the mugshots and the layout as the rest of that page. But I think we have room. I don't want to be lazy. Because these are just mugshots. Doesn't have to be any kind of special cards. You have your first 3 panels where they're talking and showing things off. Yeah, you could fit this in. Let's fit this in here, so we're not being lazy. Commissioner Stacy, Ned, and Norman all turn towards Peter. Commissioner Stacy. You know him. Uh, I, not personally. Not personally, uh, Commissioner. I know of him. I did some traveling. I did some globe hopping. I did some globe trotting a while back, and he has quite a reputation. He was also the only survivor. Well, not personally, Commissioner. I know of him. I did some globe trotting a while back, and he has quite the reputation. He was also the only survivor. At least, that was the original story. All right, so that gives us to page 4. We've now established the Sinister Six. Suspects in the sabotage, in the attempted sabotage of the Mars colony. Ransom notes, messages, the whole deal. So now we're going to bring it in a little bit towards the mayor. So now we've brought in Commissioner Stacy. We've got that whole fucking Killer Croc lizard thing. We're really Batman Gothaming up our little Spider-Man universe, having some fun. Let's finish mining the rest of this particular comic book, and we'll start laying out page 4. So we didn't need the rest of this. We just wanted something where Peter would catch himself off guard by making it like, I'm saying, Craven, like he knew him. Second he saw his picture, he knew him. Lord Plunder, is it true you prefer being called Kazar, Lord of the Jungle? All right, so you have Kazar and Zabu. This is really just a way of just kind of giving Kazar a little bit of a rub. What does it feel like to become a blue-blooded noble after having lived as a savage your whole life? This is another one of those, like, basically this guy's like a fucking He-Man ripoff. Zabu's in the car. Kazar wishes no more. He has to strip down naked. J. Jonah Jameson comes in and says, Dude, can you do me a favor? You want to help me fuck up Spider-Man? He's a real piece of shit. Peter's never stayed away so long before. Something must be wrong. Harry feels like shit. He finds a spider tracer. He says, instead of saying, wow, Harry, Peter must be Spider-Man, he says, no, Peter and Spider-Man work together. Meanwhile, Spider-Man's still hiding out. He's climbing up the building. He's swinging around. As usual, Aunt May is always fucking sick. He said he has amnesia. All right, I have to play around with this. Here we go. He goes to see the commissioner. Now we can have some real fun here because now we get the commissioner kind of probing Peter. Dad, has there been any word on Peter? Oh, you're busy. Spider-Man. Of course, Gwen Stacy hates Spider-Man. Blames him for all the fucking problems. He leaves. Everyone's scared. Kazar says, all right, motherfucker, I'm going to go after this fucking Spider-Man of yours. Give me a fucking rope. Let me walk around shirtless so the fucking chicks have something to masturbate to. How the fuck is Gwen Stacy not in love with Kazar after dealing with little Peter, puny Peter Parker? He's about to take off his thing. Kazar jumps in. As he's about to show himself off, they brawl on the fucking stairs. They brawl on the walls. They fight here. They fight there. Body scissors. Back elbow drop. Power bomb. Kazar says, fuck that shit. That's my fucking dad. Don't ever fuck with my dad. I'm going to climb up the bathroom Batman fucking style. I'm going to jump over the fucking antenna. I'm going to punch you in the face. I'm going to kick you in the dick. I'm going to fuck you in the ass. Uppercut. Side shot. Zabu's involved. Getting scratched up. Kazar says, look, you must not be a bad guy. Let me fucking save you. All right. This is a 2-issue fight, I guess. But now they go from literally Kazar into the fucking Spider Slayers again. I gotta tell you, to be honest, in reading Spider-Man, I always hated the Spider Slayers. I always thought it was cheesy as fuck. What we got here is the byplay between the Commissioner. We're involving Commissioner Stacy. He gets killed, I think, what, in Amazing Spider-Man 90? So they're really going to bulk him up in these particular issues. Let's once again take a look at our notes. What do we got here to use? Ransom note or cryptic message. All right, so page 4. Before we start mining the next issue. I don't even know you. All right. Let's do these all right now. Get the boring part over with first. Zap those out. It's a bit of a tedious thing that we have to do as writers, but it's important. It's always important. And always introduce some really cool lo-fi backup music while you're writing. It's always fun to create an atmosphere, a vibe, if you will. All right. At least that was the original story. All right. The holographic images disappear as the four men continue to discuss the matters at hand. At least that was the original story. You boys will have to forgive this old warhorse. He's still in the trenches. Paranoid and delusional. I believe this was all the workings of one man, Spider-Man. We wanted to come straight out and say Spider-Man. The holographic images disappear as the four men continue to discuss the matters at hand. You boys will have to forgive this old warhorse. He's still in the trenches, paranoid and delusional. I believe this was all the workings of one man, Spider-Man. Some trust fund punk. I believe this is all the workings of one man, Spider-Man. Some trust fund punk with too much time. Some trust fund punk with too much time and too little supervision. Commissioner Stacy can say. Then explain the ransom note. Then explain the ransom note, sir. More mere dramatics. Then explain the ransom note, sir. More mere dramatics. All right, let's do this. Let's take a look at some mining. We got to know where we're going here. Is there a ransom note? Do we want a ransom note? Is that cheesy? One simple word, redemption. Then explain the ransom note, sir. More mere dramatics. Ned will chime in. Ransom note. Commissioner Stacy shows the ransom note to Ned, which is a mere cryptic mess of images that spell out the word redemption with a marked signature of the Sinister Six Spectre type logo. In the ink splatters, in the ink and imagery, we can almost make out the face, the demonic face of a goblin. Which is a mere cryptic mess of images that spell out the words to the Goblin Mayor. I like that. To the Goblin Mayor. Redemption is coming. Commissioner Stacy shows the ransom note to Ned, which is a mere cryptic mess of images that spell out the words to the Goblin Mayor. Redemption is coming, with a marked signature of the Sinister Six Spectre type logo. In the ink imagery, you can almost make out the demonic face of a goblin. You know, you let them have fun, so it's not just some stupid note that takes up a panel. You know, redemption is coming. You want them fucking, but they gotta fuck with this mayor. They gotta drive him a little crazy. Dr. Rose playing mind games. And the best part, we haven't even showed them. We've introduced the Sinister Six into our Spider-Man universe. So I'm liking this. To the Goblin Mayor. Redemption is coming. To the Goblin Mayor. Redemption is coming. With a marked signature of the Sinister Six Spectre type logo. In the ink imagery, we can almost make out the demonic face of a goblin. All right. I like this. I like where we're going with this because now we're going to have some implications. Tell me, Norman, if it's this prankster. Tell me, Norman, if it's this prankster behind this malarkey. If this Spider-Man is the one behind. Okay. Tell me, Norman. I need. Commissioner Stacy's trying to say basically, Norman, if it's some fucking punk kid fucking with you for money, why does he know all this shit about you? Tell me, Norman, if it's this Spider-Man. Tell me, Norman, if you're the target of some punk. Tell me, Norman, if you're the target of some punk, what is this redemption he is alluding to? I'd like to remind you that I'm on your side. I'm here to help. But whoever is trying to razzle you will not stop at the Mars colony. Once you're ready to talk, I'm ready to listen. Tell me, Norman, if you're the target of some punk, what is this redemption he's alluding to? I'd like to remind you that I'm on your side, and I'm here to help. But whatever is trying to razzle you will not stop at the Mars colony. Once you're ready to talk, I'm ready to listen. In a skyscraper attached to the ground, preferably. Tell me, Norman, if you're the target of some punk, what is this redemption he's alluding to? I'd like to remind you that I'm on your side, and I'm here to help. But whatever is trying to razzle you will not stop at the Mars colony. Once you're ready to talk, I'm ready to listen. In a skyscraper attached to the ground, preferably. Commissioner Stacy stops as he walks, as he exits, stops. Commissioner Stacy stops, with his back still turned, before he makes his exit. Commissioner Stacy, get a little Sherlock Holmes with him, because he realizes he's there and he's getting nothing out of Norman because the two guys, the Ned and Peter are there. So he's gonna slip the fuck out. But before he slips the fuck out, let him get one little line in about Peter. By the way, Mr. Parker. Yes, Commissioner. Commissioner Stacy could say. I really admire your pictures. I really admire your pictures. I want to do. We should talk. As for Commissioner Stacy, Robert Duvall and The Godfather. Yeah. Yeah, let's show Commissioner Stacy. We showed up. We brought in Commissioner Stacy last issue. When we cast him, we're going to do Robert Duvall and The Godfather. Let's make sure we remember that. Let's get back to page 2. Right? Do, 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 do. I'm just going to... For Commissioner Stacy, think Robert Duvall in The Godfather. Yay. All right, good shit. Casting Commissioner. God damn it. There it is. I get my page structure back the way I want. Yes, yes. Yes, it's very good. All right, we're out. In a skyscraper attached to the ground, preferably. Commissioner Stacy stops with his back still turned before he makes his exit. By the way, Mr. Parker. Yes, Commissioner. I really admire your pictures. Ned and Peter follow Norman as the commissioner leaves them alone. And now, gentlemen, I believe I promised you. And now, gentlemen, I believe I promised your boss a private tour of Oscorp's latest wonders. There you go. And now, gentlemen, I believe I promised your boss a private tour of Oscorp's latest wonders. And I already said I promised your boss, so let's do. And now, gentlemen, as promised. And now, gentlemen, as promised, your private tour of Oscorp's latest wonders. Ned and Peter follow Norman as the commissioner leaves them alone. And now, gentlemen, as promised, your private tour of Oscorp's latest wonders. So now we go back to that. It's normal. Commissioner Stacy, him saying, yes, Commissioner, I really admire your pictures. That's his way of saying, I got my eye on you. You revealed yourself with that Craven comment. That's what I like. You get that little play of, he revealed himself. Commissioner Stacy caught it. Norman Osborn caught it. So now we're 4 panels in here. How do we want to close this page? We need to cut to another character. We cut to Commissioner Stacy. We've killed the chameleon. We've killed Craven. We can reveal later on that maybe the chameleon got away. I don't think so. No, the chameleon did not get away. He got fucking burned alive. He got roasted by the fucking Mars colony that he was going there to sabotage. Good death. Peter avenges his parents right there in the second issue. So now he's got to get locked in the conspiracy. It's too obvious Norman's a bad guy. Maybe Norman's not a bad guy. He fucked up. I don't want him to be the Green Goblin yet. I'd like to turn him into the Green Goblin either at the end of this particular novel or whatever. He's just the rich fucking mayor right now. He's Gordon fucking Gekko. We got Gordon Gekko, we got Tom fucking Hagen here. Ned and Peter follow Norman as the commissioner leaves them alone. And now, gentlemen, as promised, your private tour of Oscorp's latest wonders. Let's pan out. Okay, I like this. In the empty room, in the empty office of Norman Osborn, we see a small paperweight slowly start to quiet the buzz. In the empty office of Norman Osborn, we see a small paperweight slowly start to quietly buzz. SFX of the buzzing. Like this. Closing into the paperweight, we see it has transformed into a nanobot, which is recording information and images around the office. Panel 7. We pan out to see the back of the chair as Dr. O is observing the goings-on from Norman's office. We see Commissioner Stacy's Intention was correct. Dr. O is watching. Bada bing, bada boom. We had sex in her room. All right, we need some dialogue, whether it's narrative or buzzing. SFX of the nanobot recording and replaying the previous conversation. Of the sinister villain chair as Dr. O is observing the goings on from Norman's offices. We can't really see him yet, but we give the illusion that he is like Dr. Lovelace from Wild West, as he has no legs and is attached to an apparatus that provides his lower half. Yee! Oh, we laid out the page. I love when we lay out the fucking page. So they leave. Commissioner Stacy knows something's up. He fucking takes off. He's got the ransom note. The empty office of Norman Osborn, we see a small paperweight slowly start to quietly buzz. SFX of the buzzing. Closing into the paperweight, we see it is transformed into a nanobot, which is recording information and images around the office. SFX of the nanobot recording and replaying the previous conversation. We pan out to see the back of the sinister villain chair as Dr. O is observing the goings-on from Norman's office. We see Commissioner Stacy's intention was correct. Dr. O is watching. We can't really see him yet, but we give the illusion that he is like Dr. Lovelace from Wild West, as he has no legs and is attached to an apparatus that provides his lower half. All right. Let's move the notes to page 5. Once we get these 3 panels written out, we are done for the day. We're done for the class. There. Take over Empire City, design a floating skyscraper a la space station, uses both a home base and eventually weapon a la skyscraper version of the Death Star. Yes, we've gone over this. You fucking cunt. Be on assignment with Ned Leeds. We got that part already. Tripling up the security. Horn of Atlantis. Poster referencing the super soldier formula. Dr. O fails to get Peter's blood. Lizard makes a cameo. We got that part. Capture Libs and Harvest's blood. That taken care of. See, we're getting into our notes, ladies and gentlemen. Not the Horn of Atlantis. That's the Sinister Six. We don't want that yet. Take out Osmond for stealing his idea and then trying to have him killed after he and his people, which could be the rest of the Sinister Six. Their origins could be tied to the creation of Empire City. Yes. Endelstrom. So it's kind of fun when we go through our notes. Goblin, monster, cryptic message. Good. All right, let's mine this comic book for 3 panels of dialogue, whether it be narrative or just replaying a conversation. To kill a Spiderman. Of course. Now that he's vanquished, I must take him to place of case. So Kazar beat the shit out of Spider-Man last issue because he's got malnourished. He tried to get a hold of the Commissioner and Colonel John Jameson, which we played into our scene here. So we're mining the comic book for the byplay between the Commissioner and Peter. And Spider-Man, he took him to Central Park. He's like, look, dude, wake the fuck up. I hate amnesia. It's always annoying. Look at Kazar. So Spider-Man wakes up and says, holy shit, I got a shirtless blonde dude. I guess we're going to get it on. Speak up, Miss Brand, don't mumble. Professor Smythe is on the phone. Smythe! Now I remember. He's that nitwit who built the robot to beat Spider-Man, but he failed like everybody else. So Jameson says, you suck. Calm down. I'm just as disappointed as you are about our previous failure, but we now have a chance to completely crush that web spinner. All right, so now we're mining. What do we got here? Should we have Dr. O talking to somebody? I just came to say goodbye, Mrs. Stacy. My new orders have finally arrived, and I'm headed overseas. Sorry I can't stay to help clear Spider-Man. So am I, Colonel. All right, so we got the byplay here. Even though you've retired from the police, you think there's a chance. Don't worry, my boy. I'll find this Spider-Man completely fascinating. I won't rest until I get to the bottom of it. What about your father? Does he still hate Spider-Man with the same fanaticism? Yeah, I'm afraid so. Quite a sore point. All right, iron-willed. Aunt May is always in the fucking hospital. That's why I couldn't. I gotta tell you, I was never an Aunt May fan. She's sweet, but she was always one of the most annoying things about fucking the Spider-Man comic book. He's still sitting here with Kazar, trying to get his memory back. Zabu's fucking scaring the shit out of people. Man's got to always protect his dog. I respect that. Respect that, Kazar. He's out of web fluid. Can we bring in Professor Smythe? I know this is a blinking waste of time. Let's get over with it. Just trot out what you want to show me. This is it, Jameson. I call it my invincible Spider Slayer. I always hated the Spider Slayers. These are stupid. He builds a fucking robot to go after Spider-Man. Smythe. I think Smythe became interesting because then he just started, instead of experimenting on robots, he started experimenting on like shittier supervillains. That wanted to be like shitty villains that wanted to be supervillains. We can kind of blow through. This is another one of these designs of fucking robot. Now we got Ned Leeds and John Jameson. The whole Spider-Man supporting crew is here. Robbie Robertson. We're not going to bring him in until next issue. Next movie. Next novel. Spider-Man's jumping around. There's a robot coming after him. Jameson's in the fucking car. He's climbing the bridge. He doesn't know what's going on. He's got no webs to shoot. I keep forgetting how he gets his fucking amnesia done. He doesn't know why there's a robot after him. Everybody's fighting. The dad's fighting with the kid. Ned Leeds is here. He's uptight. Smythe wants him dead. Smythe is a prick. He wants to kill him because he's pissed off at his failure. Every time he sees Spider-Man, he remembers he's a failure. We get the fucking good old-fashioned spot. Here we go. I knew it. I knew you'd crack under the strain. Only a fool would waste time with a phone book when his minutes are numbered. Ugh. The fool. He doesn't suspect we're here. In your office at the Bugle. Once he reaches the lab, he'll be trapped. All right, so Spider-Man jumps around. He's swatting. He's punching. Smythe is flipping out. He's gone mad, you know. All sorts of spider. Short circuits. Bloods. Neurotics. Everyone's turning around. Kazar! Do not be alarmed, young man. I'll take an evening stroll. I thought I sensed a familiar figure, but it seems I was mistaken. For the aura of Spider-Man, it's not easily forgot. Wait, did Spider-Man get his fucking memory back? Alright, how does he get his memory back? Let's just remember. I knew your man-shaped rattle trap was activated by spider impulses. That's why he was able to track me down so easily. It wasn't hard to figure that too many spider impulses might just short-circuit him. Like a fuse box. I can't take an electrical. I always fucking hated this. Fuck this issue. This is one of those stupid fucking issues. Smythe sucks. Alright, do we want to use one more issue? Do we want to mine one more issue? Because I don't know if we didn't get much dialogue out of that. In the empty office of Norman Osborn, we see a small paperweight slowly start to quietly buzz. S effects of the buzzing. Closing into the paperweight, we see it is transformed into a nanobot, which is recording information and images around the office. SFX of the nanobot recording or playing. So we can have it replaying. Norman's voice. Where he basically is replaying the line as a recording. What did he say again? Gentlemen, yep. Boop. Here we go. Gentlemen, you're looking at what will become the first orbiting sustainable skyscraper. A building capable of traversing the globe, bringing metropolis to the masses, without the traffic or the commitments. Completely free of Earth. We pan out to the back of the sinister villain's chair. As Dr. O is observing the goings-on from Norman's office. We see Commissioner Stacy intention was correct. Dr. O is watching. We can't really see him yet, but we give the illusion that he is like Dr. Lovelace from the Wild West, as he has no legs, and is attached to an apparatus that provides his lower half. We're just going to end it right there. You don't need lines. Sometimes you don't need lines, you just need the imagery. You need to know that Commissioner Stacy was right. And we're going to end it right there at the fucking end of the page like that. Just make the art the way the art goes. Ladies and gentlemen, class is dismissed. I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you fucking learned something. I hope you use it for your writing as well of yourself. May fate decide your fortune if you should win. Or enjoy the books, buy them, buy into the new Faro's Lounge Kickstarter. I always like to refresh it and see if we made it yet. 41 to go. Yes! Cracked 16,000. There we go. 39 to go. All right, kids. Peace, love, war. All that shit in between.